Guess who's back? Yo, I'm finally back on YouTube. I have been slacking, I have been really bad at keeping this going, but we're trying this again. In the last few months since I posted a video, I've been travelling loads and shooting loads. So this is going to be kind of a recap of where I've been and what I've been doing. And I'm also going to dub over an interview with BBC Radio 4 to kind of talk about my process and film photography a bit more, which should lead us nicely back into this YouTube world. Film is a nice experience to have in this world of everything so instant, and you can just get everything so quickly, have things delivered the same day. You can take your picture on an iPhone and get it straight on Instagram. So to have this process is actually really different, and you can't see it, and you have to just be fully in the moment. I think that's what's really nice. I find myself never like living in the moment. I'm always like planning ahead, rushing to the next thing, thinking what I'm going to do like in months to come. When I shoot on film, I have to be like fully present in what I'm doing in order to make it worth it and to shoot something really good.
Tell me about the work that you do, the kind of, I'll leave it as that.
Okay. I'm mostly a portrait photographer, so I spend most of my time shooting people. It could be anyone from a politician to a musician to a model and anywhere across the world. I think I shoot portraits because, I mean, growing up I was quite a shy kid, and having this camera in my hand allowed me to get into anyone's world and have a reason to be there, rather than, you know, just kind of being awkward and shy in the corner. And it kind of brought me, it was almost like, I've heard like musicians say they go out on stage and it's like putting on their costume and they turn into this big character. And it's almost like that with a camera. You kind of become a more confident version of yourself, and you just get to see a lot more and experience a lot more. And it kind of, yeah, it started as a, I don't know, it just started as an interest of mine and then became like very addictive and sort of helped me to grow whilst also learning about photography and getting better at taking pictures.
Well, how would you describe the style of the portraits that you take?
I think my style of portraiture, I mean, I like to say that it's very honest. I like it to be as real and as authentic to the person as it can be. So I've kind of learned through shooting that, you know, like a style of shooting. So I kind of spend more time talking to the person I'm taking pictures of rather than taking pictures of them. I don't like it to feel like so much like a shoot, you know. I want it to feel like we're just hanging out, and then taking pictures is just part of, you know, I'll stop someone in some really nice lighting or where it looks good and we'll take like 3 shots and then keep, you know, moving around and chatting to each other. I think it's just important to make someone feel comfortable, and just all I want to do is capture like a portrait of who someone really is. So it's just about getting someone to relax.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know, seeing something in someone that maybe they don't see, or watching how they move and seeing something that just seems really natural and they're really letting go in that moment, and like stopping them on that and shooting that shot.
Do you exclusively use natural light?
I mean, most of the time I use natural light. It depends on the job and the location settings. If I'm using lighting, I use like a daylight setup, so it's, you know, bounce through a filter to make it look like it's coming through a window, so it looks like natural light. But as much as I can, I'll use natural light. Yeah, I think it's the best.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that the film's not overly saturated, because definitely when I look at your photos, they're not like, you know, there's, I think definitely you see in like smartphone technology, like the pictures are always like super vibrant kind of thing, that people, because I guess people attracted to that, but there's something really relaxing about like kind of like the muted kind of quality.
Yeah,
I think that,
like when I look at a picture shot on film, it looks like real life to me, and I don't know if it's just everyone's vision is somewhat different in how they see the world, but for me that's how life looks, and that's why I like to shoot on film, because it's an accurate representation of what I'm seeing. I've been using the same film developers for about 5 years now in Battle Green, and they're brilliant. Like, I trust them. It's like giving them your like sacred little babies, like a roll of film, and they know what to do. They know how you want the pictures to look, but they're also just very good at what they do, and they kind of, and I guess that's why you use them, because you have the same idea of how you want things to be. It's like musicians using a producer, like you have the same, you know how you want it to sound.
like it's like the person like mastering your stuff.
Yeah,
you have,
exactly.
They have got to have like
you
the
have
same.
to get it, yeah.
Yeah.
Film completely suits like who I am as a person and my personality and how I like to work shooting film, because it's so dependent on the temperature and the lighting. it's, you know, you really learn how to take pictures and the settings you like to take pictures in, and I don't know, I really, like, I know where I take portraits now, you know, like if we're walking around an area, there's, you know, a certain look I'll go for, you know, covered over, it's got a nice glow to it, there's some sort of light reflecting off a wall.
You've only got so much film. What about that limited amount of films?
The film I shoot, I have 10 pictures per roll, which shocks most people because it's such a small amount really, but I think it's great because you just kind of focus on exactly what you want and getting the shots you want.
You're not supposed to be fast. So my first film is time, and I would have...
In my head, I always, you know, I don't really plan too much because I think a lot of the time plans never work out, but I have a sort of rough idea of some key shots that I want, and shooting on film means, you know, I'm focused to get them. It's not like shoot a load of stuff that I won't use. It's like, let's focus and shoot stuff that hopefully I can use every single image. And I'm quite indecisive, so having this like decisive number on the film roll is like really good for me because, you know, it makes me focus. In most of my life I'm like, oh, what should I eat, what should I do, what don't I know? Whereas this is like, I know what I'm doing, which is really nice.
What are the planning aspects that other people, other photographers might do that you don't like to do as much?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's completely dependent on each person with like planning for a shoot and how people work. I kind of prefer the spontaneous thing because, you know, you never know. You know, you might meet someone, they might turn up 10 minutes later and you might walk the opposite direction to what you were planning on going 10 minutes before. So I think it's really hard to, especially for me, I kind of like just to wing it, and I work better like that, you know, under pressure. It's like with, you know, kind of like school and exams, I work better cramming in the information last minute than weeks before. It's dependent, like, you know, it's personal and different for everyone, but I don't really plan too much. But with, you know, a few people that I shoot, I definitely have an image in my head, so I kind of know how I want the hero image to be. Get the scans back from my developers. I usually put them into a program called Lightroom and touch them up maybe a tiny bit. I mean, you might want to remove someone's spots maybe, or just like bring out the shadows a tiny bit, or pull out the blacks a bit because it might be too dark, or it might not be dark enough, you know. It's just like very simple, probably 2 minutes per photo, just to kind of give it, I don't know, especially when you do that touch to all of them, it kind of really does give it your kind of grade and, yeah, colouring to how you like the pictures to be, but nothing really more than that.
How do you marry your analogue work to the digital work?
It's definitely a marriage between the digital and analogue world. Even though I shoot all of my work and sort of think in a very analogue process, I use social media a lot of the time to sort of go hand in hand with the work I'm creating on analogue. Like I do all my casting pretty much through Instagram. And I also street cast, but, you know, Instagram's so much easier. You can find people all over the world. You can look at locations and find where people are. I mean, recently I just went on a job to India for 2 days, and when I got to my hotel room, I looked out the window and saw this racetrack full of sort of like young men riding horses. So I've been shooting a project, like a personal project called Boys, since 2015. So as soon as I saw this going on out the window, I was like, I have to go and get involved. So I sort of searched the location onto Instagram, and, you know, instantly found a load of young guys' Instagram pages with the horses at the racetrack, so I could just message them and, you know, get access into this place the next morning. And there you go, within like 2 hours I'd set up to meet someone outside at 6 a.m. and go into this sort of, it's called the Turf Club, and like take pictures of all these guys with their horses. So like, it's amazing. The digital world is amazing. Like, you can meet anyone anywhere. Like, I have friends all over the world just through online. You know, I can go to America and go and stay with someone that I met online and meet all their friends and find people through Instagram to take pictures of. So it's definitely like they go hand in hand. I'm not like anti-digital in any way, but the actual process of taking pictures, analogue always wins. But yeah, without the digital aspect, my pictures wouldn't be the same either, because I wouldn't have the same access to people as I do with my Instagram account. In these next coming months, I'm going to be shooting on a Leica, a large format camera, and I've also got some really cool disposable cameras from a company called Manual in New York City. So I'm going to be shooting different projects on those as well, and yeah, hopefully creating a load of new work. So watch this space. And I've been working on the second boy zine. It's currently being designed. It is going to be fire. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'm gonna sort of vlog the process of that. It's gonna be a madness. Anyway, I'll catch you soon.